The Arbiter was walking down the main hall of the Caro station when he noticed something strange decorations. He was looking for his second commander, Ratas Vadim, the shipmaster of the Shadow Intent. What are those decorations for? And where are all this laughter coming from? He thought to himself. He continued walking down the strangely decorated halls when his laughter got louder. He was standing outside the main room. The Arbiter walked into the main room of the station, and he saw several humans insanguinely drunk, including Johnson and the Master Chief, as well as Ratas celebrating around the Christmas tree in the center of the room. He looked around some more and saw Free Guilty Spark and Cortana talking when Miranda Keyes appeared in front of him, holding a bottle of wine. And then very quickly, she kissed him, and they broke the kiss, and she smiled and said, "Arbiter, you're standing under the mistletoe." The Arbiter looked up and saw that he indeed was standing underneath a bush, and he smiled. He looked back at Miranda and said in a hushed voice, "What is going on here? What are all these weird decorations for?" Miranda looked at the Arbiter and smiled as she replied, "These are Christmas decorations. We're celebrating Christmas with a party. Would you like to join the party? This would be your first Christmas, and I would like to make it a good one. I have brought us a bottle of wine." The Arbiter there said as he looked at Miranda, "I would be honored." The couple went to a private table in the corner by the large decorated tree. Meanwhile, Guilty Spark said to Cortana, "Now, Miss Cortana, I was wondering if you honor me with this dance on this special day of celebration." The AI looked at the monitor and replied, "All right, if it will kill the time. These parties are way too boring anyway." Guilty Spark replied saying, "Splendid! Now meet me at the terminal AC4 when you're ready, Miss Cortana." Meanwhile, Johnson drank another shot of whiskey and said, "That's my 20th glass, Chief. Beat that!" The Spartan yelled by drinking down 2 shot glasses filled with whiskey, and Radas cracked open another bottle of whiskey. "It's going to be a long night," he thought to himself. While at the private table at the other end of the room, the Arbiter and Miranda were talking, and while keeping their eyes off of each other as a kiss under the mistletoe was going through their minds, as the both of them really loved that moment of it. The Arbiter, not used to having these feelings for a human, he looked at Miranda and said, as if trying not to stutter, "Would you like this dance? I think that's what you call it. And maybe you could tell me more about this Christmas celebration you're having. Is it for a battle?" "No," Miranda said as she slowly moved with the Arbiter. She looked up at the Arbiter and asked, "What is your name? I can't keep calling you Arbiter." "It is Tel Vadem, but you can only call me that, and only in private," he whispered in the ear. Miranda didn't even ask why he wanted it a secret, so she started to explain Christmas to Tel. "Christmas, Tel, is a time of family and fun. We haven't really celebrated recently with the war, but now, for the very first time in years, we can actually celebrate in peace and family." The two of them moved closer together, and Tel could actually tell Miranda's breath on his neck, so he didn't mind it at all. Tel looked up into Miranda's eyes and said, "Sounds like a lovely holiday, Miranda." Miranda laughed slightly before she replied, "Yes, Tel, it's a wonderful holiday." Meanwhile, Terminal AC4, Free Guilty Spark, was getting anxious for Cortana to arrive, and suddenly she appeared, and Spark made a batch of holographic flowers, appeared in her heads, and said, "Cortana, I hope you like these flowers. They are a recreation of flowers from the Forerunner's homeworld." Cortana smiled and said, "They're beautiful, Spark, thanks." Spark then activated the alternative reality computer, and suddenly they were in a ballroom dancing on an empty dance floor in human form. Spark held out his hand and said to Cortana, "May I have this dance?" Cortana took it, and they both started dancing around the ballroom, smiles on their faces as they did. Back at the bar, Ratas looked at the Master Chief and Johnson, said in a slurred speech as he pulled out a bottle of Shanghai whiskey from the bag and placed it on the bar. "Now, boys, let us see if some of you can handle this. I bet you both won't wimp out." Johnson then said as he placed his glass next to Ratas and said, "You're on." The Master Chief then looked at both of them and said, "You're going down." Ratas poured the tall glass and said, "Here's to the holiday spooey." Johnson replied, "I second that. Christmas is for wimps." Ratas says as he placed an arm around Johnson, "Brother, we must stick to gave her on us. No, no, then looked at Hughes and said, "How many cars do you have?" Hughes replied, "I need 3. Brother, would you like some more of this eggnog, as the humans call it?" "Yes, please," No said, as he dealt with the cards. "We would be appreciated if we didn't," one of the Marines said as he waved the air. "I sit this one out. I need air." He turned to leave and thought to himself, "And I thought Johnson was bad with the SBDs when he had tacos and beer." All looked over at the bar, and then there was a outburst of bad singing. Meanwhile, in the ballroom, Cortana and Spark had finished their waltz and was now dancing to a song from Elvis' Love Me Tender playing on the loudspeaker. And when the song was over, Spark kissed Cortana, who kissed him back. Suddenly, they were both back from the station, and Cortana looked at Spark and said, "Thanks for the date, Spark. I sure had a lot of fun tonight. I have to check in on John and see if he's okay." The Forerunner AI looked at Cortana as he disappeared softly and said, "I did too, Cortana. Now go look after the Reclaimer." Meanwhile, Dan and Miranda finished dancing and were now looking out a window. They both at the planet Earth below them, was there slowly their hands clasped together as the planet started to turn, and they saw the continent of Africa, half glass still to this day. Their moment was interrupted by the commotion from the bar. Dell looked at Miranda, not wanting this moment to end, and he said lovingly, "We must go. It is either your men or mine, but either way, we don't want to take the place destroyed." As Dell and Miranda walked in, they saw the trio in the bar in illusion. "We are here to announce we love whiskey and would like to marry it." And with that said, the three passed out and hit the floor. Dell said to his comlink, "Nato is used, we have a problem." "Yes, Arbiter, we can tell. What shall we do with him? The shipmaster is in a capable position," No said, as he drank another drink of eggnog. "We will decide that once we sat and discuss it. For now on, let us leave them there," the Arbiter said in a disgusted tone. "Meet us at the table nearest to the drunken trio." After Neil and Hughes arrived at the table and sat down, Bell looked into the trio of drunks and said, "So what do we do about them? We can't just leave them there. The smell would be enough to kill even a grave mind." The other three present nodded when suddenly Guilty Spark and Cortana appeared. Miranda suddenly broke the silence that had fallen over the table by saying, "We get those three to bed, but in a different way." The others gathered around the table, listened intently as Miranda explained, and everyone agreed to the plan, and who's that could be picked up off the drunks off the floor and headed towards Master Chief's bedroom. Once the Nero and Ooze, with the Arbiter's help, proceeded to remove Rata's armor and placed him in the oversized bed. They also placed the passed out Master Chief on his left and Johnston on his right. Then they left the room. The Arbiter looked at the two elites and said, as he clicked on his mandibles into a grin, "I think after this our brother Ratas will probably think twice before drinking too much." He turned to Miranda and continued, "Come on, I want to look at the sunrise as it passed Earth. If we hurry, we'll just make it." As Dell and Miranda ran across the observation room, looked out the window, and the sun rose over the planet, Dell looked at Miranda in the eyes suddenly. He kissed her, and afterwards he whispered in her ear, "Merry Christmas, Miranda," and then left the platform. Miranda went after him as she kissed him, and then as she did, Miranda Keyes realized that she had discovered the true meaning of Christmas, and it was love. Their kiss was broken, all while silenced by a horrified cry as Ratus woke up and saw his armor on the floor, and that he was between Johnson and the demon. "Ah, what have I done?" and was soon joined by two more ear-piercing screams that could be heard even on Earth. Well, and that, my pretties, was Halo: The True Meaning of Christmas, a Halo Christmas story written by Halfjaw. So this story was made back in 2008, so that was like pretty much 17 years ago. So I definitely do have to say is that it is a really good story. I personally really thought this was really amazing, and it's just a really good story. I personally do think that it's really nice because of the fact that the arbiters celebrating, they're pretty much celebrating Christmas. So that's basically the plot line of it. So this author hasn't uploaded in nearly 14 years, which is kind of unfortunate to say, but I will definitely do have to say is that this story was definitely fun to read. So to the author who, if they stumble across this video, I have to say you did a pretty good job. The grammar was really good. The sentence structuring was really well done. I do like the setting of it, and I do like the pairing shipping of, Miranda and Arbiter. Now, I know some people may have, conflictions regarding that ship, but, I don't see any problem with that because, well, it's between Covenant and humans, so yeah, I can't see it as, I'm not gonna say it, but you guys get the idea. But anyways, I personally really do enjoy this story, and I haven't done any Halo stories, and this is the very first Halo story I've done, as far as I know. Well, maybe I probably did a story a while ago, but I just can't remember because I have so many videos and I've narrated so many stories, so I kind of lose track, if that makes sense. But, anyways, I'm just going to sit here and say that this was definitely a really enjoyable story. I personally really enjoyed it. I thought it was really neat and well done. It's a pretty good one. So, I definitely do have to say is that I recommend this story in case if you guys are looking for a good Halo, well, Christmas story. And I think this offer also did a New Year's Eve one, which I might consider, reading that in the near future if I ever get the opportunity. So I definitely do have to say is that this is a really good story. I really enjoyed it a whole lot. I thought it was really well done. It's really awesome. It definitely fits out the atmosphere. And I personally really can say that the author put his or her time and effort into this story. So I definitely do have to say that is really amazing thing there. So I'm gonna sit here and say right now, I'll leave a link in description for any of you guys who want to go check out this story. So I will be doing that. So I guess with that being said, and with that being the case, like I'm always gonna say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with it, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these stories. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. I'm gonna give this story a, what should I give it? Oh, I will give it a 10 out of 10. It's a really good story. I thought it was enjoyable and stuff. And the ending, with all the with, the shipmaster screaming because of the fact that he was so drunk he didn't even remember what happened. I thought that was pretty cool, like funny cool, if that makes sense, because yeah, I mean, a lot of people do drink, in holidays and stuff. Well, I don't drink very often. I mean, I only have, coolers here and there, but it's on a rare occasion. I don't drink alcohol all the time. And to those that are drinking alcohol, I don't recommend doing it all the time. And I don't recommend getting drunk either. So I've never gotten drunk, but I do not want to get that far. So there's definitely that. Anyways, what did you guys personally think of this story? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Feel free to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm Shadow the Lion Queen. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed this channel and this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications to when I upload, so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, if you guys want to go follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Twitter, follow me on DeviantArt, and follow me on my backup channel known as Miss Dark Shigo, as links to those will be in the About page section. So if you guys want to go follow me on those, you're more than welcome to. And that's pretty much all I have to really say. So if I'm missing something, please let me know. So yeah, I guess with that being said and that being the case, I will be catching you guys all in the next video, so peace out, and like always, I will see you all next time. And roll the outro because I'm out. What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video.
And I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Ms. Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties, and as always, stay pretty.